Firstly, thank you for investing a little bit extra time and a little extra value in yourself from watching this training video. So the purpose of this training video is to give you a little bit more information about these 30 tips. I'm going to specifically talk about sort of my top 10 of the 30 and how, if you were to bring these into your lifestyle and stick to these 10, it will lead you to amazing results. So what I've come to realise over the past years of sort of personal experience and experience with hundreds of other women is everything seems a lot better and a lot more achievable if it's made easier for you, and that is my job here, is to show you ladies how easy things really can be. So no more complicated diets, no more excruciating gym sessions, no more having to sacrifice your social life, just simple, easy lifestyle changes that you can implement into your lifestyle today. Right, so now training video will begin. I'm going to go over my top 10 of these tips and, like I say, a little bit more information on how to implement them and the importance of implementing these into your lifestyle in order to see results. So tip number 1 is to stop buying junk food. So it's very easy when it becomes a habit. You go to the shop, you pick out whatever it is that you buy, you get your crisps off the shelf, you get your chocolate off the shelf, you get whatever, even if you are trying to eat healthy. And then what does that do? It sits in the cupboard, the kids and husband may eat it, or maybe they don't. You're sitting there, you fancy something a little bit sweet, and you've got all these sort of unhealthy options just sitting there. So the best way to avoid eating junk food is to not have it around you and to not buy it. Tip number 2 is increasing your physical activity. You may be saying, right, well, I go to the gym 3 times a week and I am trying to be more active, I'm still not seeing results, why is that? So it's very easy to, I think everyone overestimates what they actually do. If you've got a desk job, for an example, you sit on your bum 8 hours a day, say you go to the gym 5 times a week, that's still only 5 hours in a week, and you're spending the majority of your time sitting down. So if you aren't seeing results from your training and your sort of nutrition regime at the minute, simply just being a bit more active can start making those changes. So what I would suggest is maybe getting yourself like a little fitness tracker, like a Fitbit or anything like that, to track your steps, and that will give you a gauge of your physical activity levels. Even if you just increase your training a little bit in the gym, adding another set, another rep, another exercise in, whatever, doing 5 more minutes of cardio, parking 100 metres away from your work and walking in, leaving your car at home to walk to the shops instead of driving, whatever, just get as physically active as you can. And it's such an easy way to start losing weight and seeing results by just doing simple things like that. Number 3 is to reduce stress. So I go sort of more in depth about this on my 31 Days to Health and Happiness course, but stress can really influence your weight, your mood, everything. If you're physically, when you're stressed, your body will increase its cortisol levels, which is a major stress hormone, and that can lead to water retention and weight gain as well. And then if you look at it from sort of a physiological point of view, if you're very stressed, you're less likely to make better choices. So if you're really stressed, for example, you may finish work on a Wednesday and had a really crappy day at work, and you're like, I'm not going to go to the gym today, I feel like absolute crap, I'm going to go home, I'm going to get a takeaway, I'm going to eat and drink my sorrows away, and then that's it. So minimise stress as much as you can, get organised, find out what is stressing you out and address that issue. If it's work, you hate your job, get a new job. It's things like that, like your lifestyle and your life choices will affect your health and happiness at the end of the day. So put yourself first. Whatever's stressing you out, eliminate it. If you're going through a specifically stressful time for whatever reason, you've just got to ride it out. Find other ways of getting rid of that stress. So exercising is a great way to boost your endorphins, increase your happiness. So I can't stress enough how stress will really impact you, and you need to get rid of stress as much as you can. Number 4 is sleep. Again, I do go a lot more in depth about sleep in my course because this is such an interesting subject. It's really is amazing how much stress will influence your weight and everything. But make sure you are getting sort of around about, for women especially, we need more sleep than men. So we women need around about 8 to 9 hours a night. So a few tips on how to get a better night's sleep if you are struggling with sleep is to make sure that you get rid of any electrical equipment. I think it's sort of 2 hours before you go to sleep. Make sure you are in a dark room, so if you've got sort of crappy curtains, make sure you get like some blackout curtains or some blackout blinds. Don't expose yourself to like lighting, so like from the TV or like your phone. You don't want to be stimulating your brain when you're trying to sort of go to sleep. And to sleep, we actually need a cool environment, so about 18 degrees Celsius, they say, or Fahrenheit. Celsius is the best sort of temperature to fall asleep in. And if you are struggling with sleep, there's loads of sort of natural remedies you can have a look at to make sure you are getting a better night's sleep. But sleep is so important. Make sure you prioritise sleep. If you know you're getting up early for work, make sure you get home, get yourself sorted, get yourself into bed, have a good night's sleep, and I think we can all agree how much better we feel after we have had a good night's sleep. It just sets you up for the day. If you're not tired, then you're less likely to not go to the gym. Like I've been there when I haven't particularly had a great night's sleep and I've been meaning to go to the gym and I haven't in the end because I physically just can't, and that's okay. Like if you are physically exhausted and really tired, you can't really expect yourself to go to the gym, but still making sure that you get that night's sleep so you don't go to the gym is a really great way to obviously help increase your physical activity and just keep your progression going. Number 5 is to listen to your body. I can't stress this enough again, how important it is to find out what your body actually wants and needs. There's so much conflicting diets, conflicting exercise regimes at the minute, and at the end of the day you've got to find out what is best for you. I was a macro tracker, calorie counter for maybe about 6 years, and it was never sort of right for me. The past sort of 4 months, I'd say, I've been eating intuitively, so I haven't been tracking my macros and I haven't been counting calories or anything, and I've actually lost sort of 2 kilos in that time. I didn't even realise I wasn't even weighing myself either. But that works best for me. When it comes to training as well, I train 4 times a week at the minute, and I used to train 7 or 6, and then it went down to 5. And 4 is sort of where I need to be at the minute. So just listen to your body. If you're not enjoying your current nutrition habits, whatever you're doing, if you're doing keto or you're fasting or whatever, don't do it. Find out what is best for you and what is going to work for you. If you don't like the training you're doing either and you don't really feel that it is sort of coinciding with your goals, then again, change it. Listen to yourself, listen to your instinct. You know you better than anyone knows you, so listen to yourself. If you're really tired and you're really stressed and you can't physically go to the gym, then don't. Missing 1 session is going to be a hell of a lot more beneficial for you to get that rest, to get that de-stress at home or whatever, than going to the gym, causing yourself physical stress and then spiralling down because that 1 session stopped you for training for 3 days because you were so done in after it. So again, always listen to your body knows best. Number 6 is to set goals. Setting goals is a really great way to stay motivated, to stay focused, and to just know where you want to be. And your goal can be anything. It could be a night out you have planned with a girlfriend that you haven't seen in a few years. It could be a wedding, it could be a holiday, it could just be a random date in your diary that you think, do you know what, I want to be at this point in my life when I get to that date. It could be 6 months down the line, it could be a year down the line, it could be whatever. Just make sure you set yourself goals. I would suggest setting yourself some weekly goals, but you want to sort of work it backwards. So you've got your long, your medium and your short-term goals. So your long-term goal are going to be anything between sort of 8 months to a year. So let's just say a year, for example. You set yourself a year goal for, let's say, a Christmas next year. And it's January now, and you've said, right, by December next year, I want to be size 10, you're currently a size 16 or 18 or whatever. You want to be a size 10, you want to have a new job that you're happy at, you want to have rebuilt your relationship with food, you want to have a better social life, you want to have children, let's say you don't have any children at the minute or whatever. So set yourself those goals, and it can be as wacky and out of here as you want. Just set yourself the goals and think about what you really want and what you're willing to work towards. So that'll be your sort of year goal. You're then going to work backwards. So you've done a 12-month goal, you then do a 6-month goal. So what do I need to do in 6 months to get me to that 12 months? And then same again, you'll work that backwards. So you'll set yourself like a 3-month goal, monthly goals. I would suggest to always set yourself weekly and monthly goals, because it's those weeks and those months that are going to be little and lead up to that big goal. So setting yourself weekly goals to meal prep every day for your lunch, to make sure that you're making good food choices, to start exercising 3 times a week in order to lose that weight for your yearly goal. So make sure weekly, monthly goals. Can't stress enough how important it is to, like I say, keep you motivated, keep you driven, and just keep you in check. Tip number 7, sort of tied into tip number 6, is to set yourself weekly goals. So like I say, it's just preparing for success at the end of the day. Like if you are setting yourself targets of, like I say, really simple things like meal prepping, going to the gym, that's an achievement in itself. Like setting these little goals and ticking them off feels so great, and it does keep you on track. And again, I do touch on this on my sort of extensive course. I give you a whole little sort of workshop about goal setting and how to lay it out and whatever, but you can lay it out however you want. I do it all in my phone, so I set myself daily goals, stuff I've got to do, and then that ties in with my week. And then what I'll do is when I've done it, it gets a big green tick, which again it's like an achievement in itself, and you have to recognise these little achievements, because it's the little things that are going to amount to the big things. The little things, like I say, meal prepping, going to the gym, that is what's going to get you to that big goal. So these are so important. And number 8 is to actually eat. I have so many women come to me, they can't lose any more weight because they're simply doing too much and not eating enough. And there's so much conflicting science about calories in versus calories out, and at the end of the day, from my personal experience, I know that sometimes it doesn't matter if you are eating less than what you're burning. So in a calorie deficit, if your body and your metabolism is buggered, you aren't going to lose any weight. So if you're starving yourself and you're just eating not enough and doing too much, you are not going to see results. So I can't stress how important it is to actually make sure that you are eating. Like, food is fuel at the end of the day. We need food to survive. We need it to make up all our cells in our body. So food is so important. It's not anything to be feared. It's social, it's enjoyable. Just enjoy food. Everything in moderation, healthy food. Obviously you want to enjoy a little pizza and everything now and then, and that again is absolutely fine. It is about balance at the end of the day. Number 9 is to work your arse off and lift some weights. So again, I have so many women come to me and they say, right, okay, what sort of training are you doing at the minute? Okay, well, I go to the gym and I do 30 minutes on the cross trainer, I then do 20 minutes on a bike, and then I do 10 minutes on a rowing machine. And I'm like, okay, great, so you're just doing cardio, you're a cardio queen. There are so many benefits to lifting weights. It's going to change your shape, it's going to give you more lean muscle mass. So when you say, I want to be toned and lean, you have to have some kind of muscle in order to look toned and lean. And women, we can't get really big and bulky. It is not in our genetics. If it is, then you're a not a genetic freak, but it's not very common in women's genetics. You have to work hard for a very long time in order to get big. And these women you see on stage who do bodybuilding or whatever, they are on some sort of form of steroid as well. So remember that that is not naturally achievable. If you start going to the gym and you start lifting some weights, you're not going to look like those women there, so don't worry about it. But some more benefits to weight training is, like I say, it increases your lean muscle tissue, and then what that does is that means that your body will be burning more calories. So the more calories you burn, the more weight you will lose, the more fat you will lose, the more toned, the more lean you look. So I can't stress enough to get in the gym, start lifting some weights, and you'll see how much your body will change in such a short amount of time from just doing some simple weightlifting exercises. So when I say work your ass off in the gym, if you're currently going to the gym and you're following some kind of regime or whatever, and you leave and you don't feel that you've worked hard enough, if you don't leave sort of sweating and tired and like you've had a good workout, then I'm afraid you haven't. You need to challenge yourself. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And again, I can offer training guidance, tailored training plans and everything in my online course. So if you do find that you are struggling with training, you don't really know what you're doing, like most women don't. I think most women, we do want to stick to the cardio equipment because obviously all the big scary men are in the weight section. You don't want to go there, but that in turn is going to hinder your results, and it's going to stop you from progressing, and it's going to stop you from seeing your results. So if you want help on training and everything as well, you can obviously have a look at my course that I offer as well. And my last tip for this little video is to get your family involved. So it can be very hard, say if you have like a partner and he's not particularly interested in training or eating right, and you're trying to lose weight and eat healthy and exercise, and he's not really being that supportive. He's maybe like, oh, don't go to the gym tonight, stay with me, we'll get a takeaway or whatever. Obviously you want to spend time with your partner and you want to make them happy. So, and a lot of the time, a lot of women do let themselves go, and that's not me saying that, that's women saying that. I have so many ladies come to me, I've got in a relationship with this guy, I've let myself go, I don't train, I just eat with him all the time, and they're miserable. And a lot of the time as well, you get women that they've been with a guy, they've then let themselves go, they've gained quite a lot of weight, they're not very happy with themselves, and then they break up, and then they've got to deal with this whole issue of they're self-conscious because they've gained all this weight and they are not themselves anymore, and they've got to go through that whole period of losing weight and exercising in order to feel better about themselves. So if you get your family involved, it will just make things a hell of a lot easier. And if you've got children as well, obviously you want to teach them how to cook healthy meals, so then when they're older or whatever, they'll be able to go out and do it themselves. You want your family to be healthy and happy at the end of the day, don't you? Like, I'm sure we'd all agree that health is so much more than just looking good, and it's about feeling good and actually being physically fit and physically healthy as well. And I'm sure any mother would want her children to be fit and to be healthy. So doing things like getting them involved in the cooking, or even going on things like family walks, or you can even do like outdoor boot camps and stuff with like your children and your husband. So get them involved as much as you can. There's plenty of ways to make food sort of fun and interesting. Like I say, get the kids involved, get your husband or your partner involved, and make sure that they're going to support you at the end of the day, because you're doing this for you and you're also doing it for them as well. So just make sure that they are supporting you, and if say your husband or your boyfriend isn't, make sure you confront him and tell him that you need that support. Like, you don't need someone there trying to undo all the hard work you have done through a takeaway or whatever. And don't get me wrong, takeaways are fine. Like I say, I'm all about balance, all about moderation. But again, it's about if you actually want it as well. So get your family involved as much as you can, and it's going to make your journey a hell of a lot easier, and you're going to bring them along with the ride as well and increase their health and their happiness as well. So thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed these tips. If you're interested in hearing a little bit more about my course, click on the link in the description, and I hope to see you there so I can help you even further.